Hey there, Human Rocket here. That armor is like ancient.
What is going on, Marvel fans? This is Judge with Judge Games, bringing you a Cosmic Trial guide and build breakdown for my boy Nova here. So these are the skills I'm using. I am using a ranged pulsar build, which basically revolves around putting up your vulnerabilities activating your signature, and spamming Supermassive Pulsar. While we're on the topic, let me explain to you why I spam Supermassive Pulsar over Unstable Pulsar. It causes vulnerability for one, so I don't have to worry about it. It's just always going to be up when I'm spamming this. But also, and more importantly, is the CC that it gives you. If you look at the tooltip here, it says it violently sucks in nearby enemies when it collapses. So this will stack your enemies up in a nice little pile and allow you to DPS them easier. But also, it stun locks bosses. Now, I don't know if this is intended or not, but it appears that it jerks them around just enough to interrupt their casting and attack animations. It'll likely be patched in the future. I don't imagine that it's intended, because it's a little overpowered. For my talents, I took Nova Beam Resonance, turned my Nova Beam into a cooldown power, which helps it synergize with my Tier 5 talent, which allows me to use my signature more often. I took Pulsar Proximity Amplification. Whenever you're standing in or around your Magneton Pulsar, you gain a damage and survivability buff, which is really helpful, especially for your burst. I took Pulsar Field, fire a second Pulsar. Pretty self-explanatory, very, very good talent. Proximity Control allows your Pulsars to detonate automatically rather than having to detonate them manually, which is really important for DPS, so you don't have to zip around trying to detonate them manually. And of course, as I stated before, I took Gravimetric Acceleration in order to use my signature a lot more. Ultimate, can't use it in the trial, but it is a very good ultimate. It does a lot of damage and provides you with a pretty hefty buff for 20 seconds. So it's very, very good when you're doing operations and patrols and things like that. Synergies, not going to get too far into it. I'm not going to go into in depth. But you can go ahead and just pause the video if you need to kind of take a look at what I took. But honestly, I mean, you can just take whatever you want as long as it, accents range damage and things like that. For my infinity points, I took Potency because, as you're going to see in a second when I demonstrate the burst rotation, you use your signature quite a bit. So it always helps just having that extra damage. I feel like this is the biggest DPS increase for this build, personally. So for the gear, I mean, I might as well not even get into this because this is the gear that I used in the video that I provided to you guys, but this is not the gear I used when I originally completed the trial. But just, for the sake of kind of seeing what I'm doing here with my build, I'm going for a lot of crit damage and brutal damage, obviously on top of the ratings to support that for the crit and brute chance. So you'll notice how I have a lot of damage. I don't know. It's a pretty hot debate right now between people whether to go defense or offense or a mix of both for cosmic content. I've never had issues staying alive, and I went pretty much, if you look at my gear, 100% offense. I mean, there's almost no defense on my gear anywhere to be found, nor on my relics. So I don't know. I think that heavy offense works really well with this build, simply because your Supermassive Pulsar will CC things enough, and your Gravimetric Surge will afford you enough survivability to allow you to sustain yourself in cosmic content. I rarely die, never had any issues with it. All right, let's take a look at the rotation here. So basically, when you have all your cooldowns up, and when you're opening on a boss, what you're going to want to do first is hit your Magneton Pulsar, Nova Flare for the vulnerability. Make sure you're standing in your Magneton Pulsar, pop your signature, and spam Supermassive Pulsar. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like right now. So Magneton, Flare, signature, spam Supermassive. That's it. Once you get out of this, before you use your other Pulsars, make sure to get that vulnerability again. Spam your Pulsars, Supermassive. This is the point I would use my Nova Beam here. And then if you guys look, there it is. Signature is back up. You do it all over again. That's it. That's the rotation for Nova. I hope this has helped you guys out. And if you have any sort of questions, just leave it in the comments below. and I'll try and get back to you as soon and as often as I can. But most importantly, I appreciate you guys watching and taking time out of your day.